The fire socks are lit. He could go all the way. Hey guys, welcome back to another fan flat attempt number 4. And I gotta say, this one went much better than the rest of them. I was absolutely excited with the finish, absolutely excited how it turned out, which is why I wanted to make this video to share my experience. For those of you new to my channel, welcome. For those returning, welcome back. I appreciate your viewership. For those who have commented or reached out to me after my chain snap issue, I appreciate it. I feel the connection. I feel the community. I feel 100. I so appreciate the support that I've gotten from that. Thankfully, no injuries, minor sprain. Ah, fuck. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the link on either side for the video so you can see what happened. But basically, you know, that was my third attempt of this race, which did not go anywhere near as planned. My first 2 attempts, I did okay. First one, I forgot to record it, and so I ended up in, not because of lack of recording, but I just forgot to turn on the recorder. So I ended up in 12th place. No big deal. I thought the sprint went okay, but I wasn't really happy with it. I wanted to actually record the race because I do like recording these races and sharing. Not only does it help me learn and see what I'm doing, but as I get feedback from you guys, I'm able to adjust as well and support the community. Second time I raced it, ended up launching my sprint from way further back than I needed to. I ended up a few meters behind the peloton, and that ended up creating a scenario where not only did I have to bridge that gap, but then also get through everybody. So I ended up in 12th place again. Attempt number 3, chain snap. Nothing I can do about it. Got through it, fixed the bike, I ended up replacing cables and stuff like that just to kind of fine tune everything and get everything back up to, maintenance. And as I start the morning, I'm looking at the schedule on companion app. I registered for a 12 o'clock race yesterday night, but I wanted to see how many people were in the race. Because when I looked at it last night, there was only maybe a handful of people that already signed up for the 12 o'clock race. I wanted something with a bigger populace, a bigger amount of people. And primarily because if I do good, then there's more of a chance that my race score can go up. If I don't do good, then there's still a chance my race score won't go down because I won't end up in the back of the pack unless something, disastrous happens. When I start scrolling through the companion app this morning, I'm looking. I see a 10 o'clock race that is right around 25 people when I looked at it initially. So I was like, great, switch. Let me join that one. I look at my watch. It's 9:45-ish, almost 10 o'clock. I got not a lot of time to get prepared. And so I grab my equipment, set everything up, change, grab some water. Again, this is 10 o'clock in the morning. I generally don't eat in the mornings, depending on the day, depending on the mood. I wasn't hungry this morning, so I ended up racing completely fasted. I got, my typical routine is I wake up, I drink some water with electrolytes, and then I'll have an energy drink afterwards for the caffeine, because it's 0 sugar energy drink, lots of B12, that kind of stuff. And so I only had just finished my water. I didn't have any energy drink. So I was like, you know what? Let me grab an energy drink. Let me grab some more water so I can start to, hydrate in the time that I have leading up to the beginning of the race. Because at this point, after everything was set up, after I got changed, all that stuff, I had maybe 15 minutes to get going since this was a 10:10 a.m. race. So I had about 15 minutes, get everything set up, get on the bike. I don't realize this at the time, but the first mistake I made today in rushing was I forgot to turn on the camera for recording. Thankfully, I recorded the race, so I have that. I'll share that and talk through, the last 2 kilometers or so, because really the first parts of the race were kind of boring. The second mistake I ended up making, which I didn't realize this at the time, again, it happened. I was setting everything up, doing everything fast. It ended up happening as I finished. I got off the bike. I look, I'm in 53:12. I'm not in 53:11. I sprinted not in my full capacity. I sprinted not in my hardest gear. And so looking back at the actual race, I ended up sprinting and holding around 700 to 800 watts, which the way the race went, still pretty good, because we had a couple surges here and there where people didn't really go off the front. Like the first kilometer, there was someone that just kind of plowed through, went off the front, and the rest of us were holding 300 plus watts just to kind of catch up. But after that, the race was pretty mild. So because I got the Zwift play on turn number, on lap number 3, the official lap 3, doing the U-turn, I decided to start, checking out what kind of advantage I can get with steering. So the whole race, I was using the steering just to kind of keep myself in the middle of the peloton, getting as much drafting as possible, which helped. Being able to stay in the middle of the peloton helped. Because I was getting 100 plus watts of draft savings versus generally I'd end up getting pushed out to one side or the other where the draft savings starts to come down quite a bit. And so on the second to last lap, as I come around that U-turn for the sprint, I turn in real tight and end up literally going from almost the back of the peloton to almost the front of the peloton. And that got me excited because I knew at that moment, if I could get to that U-turn near the front or in the middle or anywhere with that peloton, I could do that U-turn, cut in tight, get close to the front and launch. And so as we get there, we're coming up to the, we're past the roundabouts, coming up to the U-turn. I decided I wanted to change my camera view because in a previous just work, not quite workout, but a warm up, I changed my camera view to the rear angle facing and I did a quick sprint and I was like, man, this looks awesome. It is so cool to see your avatar just kind of come out of the saddle, lean forward and just go for it. And so I was like, you know what? I want to get my sprint finish and I want to get it in that cinematic, just dramatic view. So as we're coming up to the U-turn, go to change my camera angle, hit my power up, and as I'm getting out of the saddle to sprint, drop of sweat comes down, lands, changes my camera view on my companion app. There was nothing I could do about it at the time, but it gave me an even more cinematic view. And so that's where I'll kind of finish this because I thought it was absolutely amazing. It switched to the helicopter view and I'm watching my avatar from over top, like in a world tour race, just going to town, sprinting. Now, again, I didn't realize I was on my 53:12. I was just going.
You did it!
At that point, I wasn't thinking about anything other than just going. And I see myself passing people and I'm going, I'm feeling good. And as I started approaching the line, I was like, you know what? No need to push any harder because I've passed all the people I'm going to pass. I have enough of a gap between the person behind me that they're not going to catch me on the line. The person in front of me, I'm not going to catch them on the line. And so I just coasted across the line, got 6th place, and it was fantastic. So wanted to share. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys on the next race. Hey guys, Miguel from that thing you just watched. If you know where that reference is from, please leave it down in the comments below. One of my favorite channels to review content. So I'll leave it at that. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, watch videos, playlists, whichever pop up. But thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and I hope to see you next time.